Thanks for joining us today. This is another Meetup 101. This is where we like to kind of dig into the basics and the core principles and the fundamentals about building your communities with Meetup. Today, we want to make sure that you've got access to the resources of our community support team. And these are the specialists here at Meetup who are experts at using Meetup, helping you navigate it, answering questions about success for your groups as well. My name's Alex. I am a senior team lead on the community support team, and I'm joined today by Colin.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Colin. I'm the manager of customer support, and glad you're all here.
Cool. All right. As always, we like to start out these events by sharing some guidelines about what to expect, and then we'll get into like sort of our scheduled agenda. First of all, this video will be recorded, and you do not appear in the video. Your video and your audio have both been muted, so the only thing you should be seeing and hearing will be Colin, myself, and our slide deck. If you do have questions, though, that's a crucial part of these events. We love to hear from you. We love to hear what kind of questions are coming up for you as we go. We have a Q&A feature, which is available at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Feel free to post questions in there. We do have support specialists present today who can answer those questions live. We also set aside some questions and we'll answer them at the end in a live Q&A. Last but not least, closed captioning is available. If you'd like to turn that on, simply click the live transcription icon at the bottom of your screen and select your language preference. Today, we're going to spend most of the time talking about how you can connect with our community support team, all the various channels and teams available for you, depending on the questions you have. We'll also make time, as I said, for that Q&A, and we'll also make sure that we have reposted all of the links and resources that we'll be sharing throughout the day today. We'll talk about, as I said, there's lots of different channels and various ways that you can reach out to us. We want to make sure that you understand who on our team is going to be receiving and responding to the different kinds of questions you may have. We're going to show you exactly where you can find those resources and how best to use them. And then, like I said, that Q&A at the end is always a huge part of what we do. So first and foremost, I'll take us through meeting our community support team. If you are just joining us as a new organizer at Meetup, or if you've been with us for a while and you're just not totally familiar with who's answering your questions when you submit those tickets, we want you to know that the people on our team, these are real organizers. They have real groups. Usually on these Meetup 101s, we use Colin's real group as a test for a lot of what we explore in terms of the features, in terms of the messaging, so you can see how it really gets applied. We're really proud that our specialists are real organizers because we can share our experiences with you. When you do have questions, we're available 7 days a week, and you can contact us by email, you can contact us on social media, and you can also contact us directly through the Help Center. We offer a lot of resources directly there that can answer your questions. We'll go through step by step how you can access each of these channels and these fields. So if you've got questions about how you can reach out through any of those, stay tuned. We'll get into it. Sometimes we do get the question why we don't offer phone support like a lot of companies might. Increasingly, a lot of companies shift to digital support, and it's particularly important for Meetup because navigating our website and our apps is such a visual experience, finding which buttons to press and where and how they sort of interact with the different parts of your community building. When we communicate online, not only can we send those screenshots and we can walk you through visually what you're supposed to be looking at, what you're supposed to be clicking, we also are able to pull up your account specific information and work with you privately and securely so that if there's an issue that's affecting your particular group, we can work with you one-on-one more securely than we could otherwise. It also helps us to keep better track of reports and better track of concerns, better track of feedback. All of that happens digitally, and so that's why we offer the resources that we do. First and foremost, we want to make sure that you're aware of some of the social media channels that are available for you to reach out. On Twitter, if you have an account there, at Meetup_support is the channel that our support team primarily uses. If you're not following us there already, I recommend it. We tend to post, if there's some sort of site-wide issue that we've received lots of reports about already, we'll give you up-to-date information on how we're doing with providing updates, fixes. We can respond directly to questions there. So a lot of like real-time information will come out through that @meetup_support channel on Twitter. If you have an account-specific information, like say you're having trouble logging in, or you're having trouble sending a specific message from your group, for those kind of questions, we work with you on a more account-specific level, and posting publicly on Twitter or on Facebook, we're sort of limited in how we can answer those questions because we need a little bit more security in order to investigate what's really going on with your account. So if you have those sort of account-specific questions, we really encourage you to DM us there. Send us a private message either through Facebook or on Twitter. We're happy to answer you there. We also have specialists monitoring our public comments on Facebook as well. So the official Facebook page will post things there. We're aware that sometimes you might have questions that you post as comments, either about your own groups or about what we're posting as like the main feature. So just to run through that again, we've got the @meetup_support channel on Twitter. We've got a Facebook page. We've got specialists monitoring both of those. And we want you to remember to keep in mind that if you have an account-specific issue, sending us a private message will help us help you faster. Anything you want to add on that, Colin?
Oh, yeah. I think you're going to go into the next slide, but of course, we'll talk about email support as well. Because
Yes.
if you do DM us on Twitter or Facebook, we'll likely ask for your email address so that we can contact you through email, because that's ultimately how we verify your identity. So either DM us with your email, or we will reach out to you, or submit a ticket through our help center, which we'll get to in a second, and we'll correspond through email. So
perfect. And that's a great segue. Yeah, usually if you DM us and there is an issue that we want to investigate further, like Colin said, we ask for your email and we will have someone reply directly to your email account in order to continue working with you. Your account security is really important to us, and that's partly why we have this procedure about escalating from social media to email. So let's talk about the Help Center, which is part of this email ecosystem for providing support. If you're not familiar with our Help Center, it's pretty simple. It's help.meetup.com. You got a screenshot here of what you're going to see on that homepage. We have a broad database here of articles, and we'll offer instructions. There's some media like pictures and sometimes animated or video content that can help guide you through some of it. And we also sometimes just post success content, just general questions about developing strategies around communication and that sort of thing. We're constantly updating the Help Center. We're revising existing articles to match the current experience that you'll find on the website or on the apps, and we'll publish new articles as new features become available. I can show you a bit more about how to navigate the Help Center, and if you're searching for a particular feature, what to do. But first, we want to make sure that you have this link. If you scan this QR code that's currently on your screen, we also post the link directly in the chat. This is a way to contact us directly. And the way that that works is when you go to that direct contact form, you fill out some of the fields and it generates an email ticket that our support specialists will then contact you directly. This is a great time. I'm actually going to minimize the slide deck and we are going to take a look at the Help Center itself. Doing this is going to help us sort of get a better sense about how to navigate the Help Center. So this is what that screenshot we were looking at is. One thing I do want to call out is that, let's see, I'm going to sign out here just to demonstrate. Usually, if you haven't logged into the Help Center before, you will see up here in the right-hand corner, the sign-in logo. This is a really helpful part of the experience for us as your support specialists, because if you do contact us, logging in means we will know immediately your email address is linked to your Meetup account. When you log into your Meetup account through the Help Center, we can already have you pre-verified when you write into us. So when we receive that email from you, we already have some information and we can help you more efficiently.
yeah, that's really important, because if you write in from an email address that is not associated with your account, then we'll ask you to contact us again through the correct email address. And that's just verification purposes, so that we know we're actually talking to you and for security reasons. So by logging into the Help Center right here and then submitting a ticket through here, then you're automatically verified. We know that we're talking to you. So,
and it's not the end of the world if you've logged into the wrong account. If you're having trouble signing in on the Help Center at all, we can still help you. But we want to keep in mind that if you are able to successfully sign in, we're able to help you that much faster. I also want to point out, I'll sign out again just to demonstrate this. When I'm signed out, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, there's nothing here. But when I do sign in to my own account, in the bottom right-hand corner, you see this button that pops up, this red button in the corner that says support. And this is how you can start getting support from a specialist. So it's one of the many ways you can contact us directly for questions. I also want to demonstrate some of the resources we have available in the Help Center. Let's say I have questions about one of our latest features, which is event chat. So if you want to ask a question about event chat, you can type it in here. And you get directly to the Help Center article about this latest feature. We try to give you some context on what the concept behind this feature is. We'll have pictures so that you can identify where to locate the feature, how to use it. We have instructions here on how to navigate it, including how to mute it, as many people for this new feature had requested. This is sort of a living article. We continue updating it as we get more and more feedback that helps us sort of streamline how people want to be using the feature. So just a little demonstration there of what to expect with the Help Center. Anything else we want to add there, Colin?
Maybe go to all of the different categories.
Sure.
I wanted to show, yeah, so there's all these topics here. You can definitely search, and searching is a great way to find articles. But if you're just curious about using Meetup in general, or about a specific, area of the product, like for example, we have a Meetup Pro category, we have using Meetup. It's just a good overview of everything you need to know about certain areas of the product. And yeah, so definitely you can see like there's many articles about each category. So yeah, I encourage you all to explore. And if you have questions about any of the articles, that's what our support team is there for. If it's not quite clear, if the article isn't clear, then reach out to us. We'll totally update it and edit it to be clearer. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. I also want to point out here, a lot of what we're talking about today ends up looping back to our community support landing page. And this page includes every single link and every single resource that we are talking about today. We're exploring this on a more detailed level for you. I'm going to go ahead and post in our chat today this link so that everybody here has it. So you'll be able to follow along with us here. So we've got the link to the Help Center. Most importantly, for all other questions, you can submit a direct request to Meetup's community support team.
And that link, yeah, that's the link that we showed the QR code for. And when you scan it, or when you visit this link, it's, you can put in your name, your group name, and under the describe your problem or request, we definitely encourage you to share as much information as possible and give as much context as you can as to what you're writing in about. We really want to help you as soon as possible. So by giving us as much information up front, we can come back to you with answers sooner. Otherwise, we might have to respond with needing more information. So yeah, just try to be as specific as you can. And then also at the bottom, there's attachments.
Yes.
And if you can share screenshots or screen recordings of the issue you're experiencing, or just what you're trying to explain to us, that's also extremely helpful. Because Meetup is a very, broad platform with a lot of different features. So sometimes we're not really sure what exactly, you're referring to. So just by being as clear as possible, that will help us help you sooner. So.
And if these fields seem like too much information to be sharing, if it's like sort of getting in the way of you asking for help, I just want to point out this red asterisk here marks the only required field. The rest of it's helpful for us. It can support us supporting you, but really if the critical thing is just getting your problem communicated, like app version, maybe you're writing in about the desktop version. It's not required to tell us your app version. The attachments also not required, but they are useful. And if you have questions about how to submit a recording, we even have our own Help Center article that can provide instructions on how to take those attachments and share them with us. Cool. All right.
Great.
We'll take that and we'll jump back into the slideshow. So that's the Help Center. We've gone through our social media support channels. We've gone through the Help Center, including the direct support form that will get you email support. Now we're going to talk about submitting feature requests. This is part of the next few sections we're going to go through are going to talk about specialized teams on our community support team. And these specialized teams focus on requests that sort of go into, more nuanced categories of questions you might have. So Colin, do you want to take the wheel?
Sure. Yeah, so I work very closely with our product team. I specialize in product operations. And that really comes down to feature requests and product feedback, core user experiences, things that you write in about that maybe aren't necessarily broken, but are things that could be improved or things that don't yet exist. So every time someone writes in with a new request or feedback about the product, we are tracking that and we record all of the requests by volume, and then we try to prioritize that and hopefully build it into our roadmap with product, and get that built or improved or changed on based on your feedback. And we welcome all feedback. So I did want to go into like what the difference, how we kind of define feature requests and product feedback, just for your understanding. So the way we look at feature requests are things that do not yet exist. So that could be specific tools or functionality or features that doesn't exist on Meetup, but you want to be built. So some examples of that are hybrid events. That's something, spoiler, we're working on right now, but that's something that we've heard for a while. Like people want to be able to have a hybrid event that's both in person and online. So that's something that doesn't yet exist, but it's a great idea and it's a feature request. Another example is the ability to send direct messages in the organizer app. We have direct messages on web and on the member app, Meetup member app, but it's not yet built in the organizer app. That's a feature request. Another thing is the ability to thread in event chat. So these are things, great ideas, but they're real like functionality that isn't built. The next thing we get a lot is more specific product feedback. And the way we look at this is basically poor user experiences. So it's currently built and it exists, but it's maybe not the best experience and it should exist a different way. So this is a little more specific, like after we launched the photo album replatform, all of the photo albums, the thumbnails are in landscape mode, and we've heard that it's not quite like you don't really want to see them all in landscape mode because it's hard to see the photo. That's like a very specific thing that we built, but it's not exactly what you want. We could make it better. Another one is how event chats are shown in a list, but there's a lot of inactive ones that are shown, and it's built that way, but maybe you don't want to see all the inactive ones. So again, more specific product feedback that we get. Now, now that I explained the difference between those two, we get a lot of it, and I'll show you how to submit your request. So
I can go ahead and open that
yeah.
up. All right,
So
here we are.
this is our it's a Google form that is specific to product feedback and feature requests. And so when you visit this page, I'll share the QR code in a second. But when you visit here, you can choose the product area that you're talking about. So let's say, let's just use one of those examples that I said. So let's say maybe like a event chat. The event chat, inactive messages in event chat. So maybe when you choose the category, I would probably pick, you could say events.
That'd be my guess, yeah.
And then under event feature category, We have event chat right there. And don't worry if you don't know exactly the categories, don't worry, just do your best. The real important part is this last screen where you explain exactly why this is important to you and what it is. And so under the explanation of the feature request, I would go into, explaining what you want, why you want it, and maybe some examples of why it's important. You can also select which platform this is about. So depending on what the request is, desktop, mobile web, Android, or iOS app. And then you can say who you are. The others are optional for location. And at the bottom there, Alex, at the bottom there is
Sure.
just your email address.
Right.
But yeah, so if you want to receive updates about your feedback, you can share your email address there. If you go back to the slide deck, I want to definitely want to give you the QR code for you to access this form. Having a digital record for all these requests is really helpful so that we can track everything and record volume for what people want the most. So definitely scan that. And I think Janine's posting the link in the chat as well. So and then the next slide is just some tips which I mentioned. Not sure if it's loading.
Oh, here. How's
There
that?
you go. Thanks. Yeah, so keep in mind that when you're submitting product feedback or feature requests, number one, please be really specific about what part of Meetup you're referring to. Explain clearly that you want, event chat, like where you want the event chat feedback. And then also the why is extremely important. So like, why is this important? And how will this help you and your community thrive? So sharing some examples there would be great. Cool. So that's the product feedback and feature requests. Seems like it's not loading, Alex. There we go. Cool. And then the next one is about our bug. So reporting a bug is it goes to our product support team. There we go. Yeah, so our product support team are specialists who help when anything goes wrong. So when you submit a bug, which is something's broken or something isn't working as expected, our product support team will investigate the issue with you to make sure that we're understanding fully what's happening. And then once they're able to recreate the issue and verify that it's actually a bug, they'll file a defect ticket with our engineers to get it fixed. We also keep track of the volume of reports that come in. So it's really important that if you see something, definitely say something, because we prioritize bug fixes based on the number of reports and how severe the bug is. So obviously the more reports we get, the more it will be prioritized. And then the next slide.
Before we move on, Colin, I just want to kind of ask or point out. So what would you recommend if you're not sure if what you're asking is a bug or feedback?
Sorry, say that again.
So like, let's say I'm seeing something that isn't working the way I expect it to on the app. And I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it's just product feedback. Does it matter which way I file the report?
It really doesn't. Sometimes people write into us thinking that something is a bug when actually it's just maybe a poor user experience or we don't have that built yet. And then vice versa. Maybe something is, not quite the way that is we want it to work, but we're like, oh, well, it's broken. That's why it's not working. So
that was a nice leading question for you, because it's trying to reassure everyone that there are multiple ways to reach out. If you submit through kind of the wrong channel, don't worry. Our team works together. We will help guide your question into the right queue with the right specialist in order to continue investigating the problem. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And don't worry about how exactly you're submitting it. It's just hopefully this is just a good understanding of like how we're looking at these issues. And I wanted to go over like what we consider a bug or a defect. This is different from product feedback and feature requests because it's something that was built, but it's broken or it's not working correctly. And so we have a whole system in place so that these issues are prioritized and fixed. So some examples here are like mostly around error messages, like maybe you're trying to schedule an event and an error message pops up. It's like inputted everything correctly. Like there should be no reason why there's an error message. Or maybe you're trying to record a payment that someone gave you on your money page and it's just not saving or you can't find it. Like it was built so that it works and it's not working. So that's a bug. Or there's maybe an inaccurate number of attendees on my event page. Like that 10 people have RSVP'd and you can see that on your attendee list, but then on the actual event page it shows 5 or 9. So a lot of the different little issues that can come up that just shouldn't be the case. So yeah, definitely want to keep track. We want to keep track of these and fix them for you as possible, as soon as possible. And then the next slide is a direct link to submit bugs. But again, you can contact us anyway and notify us about bugs. This is just a bit more of a streamlined approach to reporting bugs. So scan this and it should bring you to the bug report page. This is some tips for reporting a bug that will help us help you faster. So we look at these issues and whenever we see a report, we really want to understand, number one, what is happening, number two, what should be happening, and number three, specific steps that you took to encounter this issue. And then number four, any screenshots or screen recordings of the issue happening. All of this stuff helps us investigate the issue much more quickly. And like I said earlier, less likely for us to respond and be like, can you clarify what's happening? So yeah, thank you all in advance for helping us investigate these if it ever arises, because we want to make sure that you can go back to community building and organizing your group as soon as possible.
I'll point out here too, we mentioned earlier the Meetup_support Twitter feed. That's a great place to keep an eye out if you have filed a report about an error or a bug. We'll post there if it's a widespread issue that's affecting like a lot of our users, and we'll also post updates about when the fix is available. Cool. All right. Next, we'll talk about policy violations. Do you want to talk through this one as well, Colin?
Yeah, sure. So I don't work on the trust and safety team, but we have a great team who makes sure that all reports are investigated and appropriate action is taken just to make sure that your community can continue meeting safely. Whether that's, a member who is, not being respectful or just, a lot of things that happen in the background. We want to make sure that these reports are taken seriously, and they are, because we have a great trust and safety team who handles these. So we have a couple of ways of reporting policy violations on our site. It's super helpful that when you do report people or groups or comments and events, that you do it directly on our platform, because it saves the trust and safety team time. And so when you do report things, it's, if you can give like a really detailed description of the situation, that's helpful. Links to any pages where relevant content at issue may be appearing on the platform, any emails or content that was received, anything received outside of Meetup that would be relevant, and just any other information. So just a lot of details. And then Alex, if you want to show exactly where you
Sure.
can report things. So I sent a mean message to Alex earlier, and and from here, this is this is the direct messaging. So you can simply click report on by clicking the three dots, and it will report that message and the user. So like I said, use those tips earlier about, you know, being very specific and detailed, and maybe screenshotting the message and sharing it. So yeah, that's how you report through a DM. This is a group page. If you want to report this group, maybe you find that it's, you know, it's not following guidelines, you can click the drop down and then click report this group. Maybe it's a spam group, or, you know, there's a lot of different options here that you can select. And then also there's certain content that maybe you see, maybe it's like a spam post. You can report it from the discussions section. You can report comments, you can report event chats. So there's a lot of places that you can report these things. So yeah.
Cool.
And then the last thing.
Ooh. There we go.
Yeah, so our trust and safety team takes reports of abuse super seriously, and they investigate each and every incident thoroughly. They'll correspond to you via email. And then to protect all members' privacy, the outcome of any trust and safety investigation is not typically disclosed to those who submitted the report. So just a heads up there. But yeah, definitely reach out to us if you see anything on our site. And yeah, this is our additional resources section. You can cover this,
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, so happy to talk through this. We mentioned first and foremost, there were some social media channels where we were offering support, like Twitter and Facebook. We also offer support through our organizer Discord community. We've been talking about this a lot in our Meetup 101s for several months now. Discord, if you're not familiar with it, is an instant messaging platform. So if you don't have an account there, you would have to create one in order to join. But if you scan the QR code now, or click the link that we'll post in the chat, you'll be able to join this instant messaging platform where hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of active organizers are conversing, sharing tips, showing pictures, swapping experiences about community building. It's a really, really valuable resource that we're really proud of how it's thriving and developing. And we also have support specialists available in that community to answer questions as well. So one of the many, many, many channels that we offer in order to get assistance. We also want to point out our Community Matters blog. Now, this is primarily managed by Meetup's marketing team, but we want to highlight the features that they have been publishing in this blog because it sort of dovetails with another resource that support offers. If you haven't followed the blog and the newsletter that's associated with it yet, you'll get access to stories from working organizers on their experiences hosting their own events. We frequently post local guides to events in your area if you're looking for active groups and active communities in your city. Sometimes our CEO, David Siegel, will share posts about the direction of the company or other community-based initiatives that he wants to call attention to, and we'll post more information like our organizer guide. Right at the top of the Community Matters blog, you'll see a link to the organizer guide. This is a support resource, and this is why we're bringing up that blog. Over the years, we've accumulated a lot of tips from working organizers on how to get started, how to boost your group if it's already been up for a while and you're hoping to get an influx of additional members, or to boost attendance from your organizer, from your members, excuse me. It's also kind of useful if you are organizing a standard group. Your standard subscription typically allows you to host 3 groups with an unlimited number of events. But if you're looking to really expand your community on more of a global level, or if you're looking to host an unlimited number of groups, we have sort of an enterprise level subscription called Meetup Pro, and the organizer guide can give you some basic information about how to leverage Meetup Pro for more of like a business level community. We also pointed out some Meetup Pro resources in the Help Center as well. So if you're interested in learning more about Meetup Pro, the Help Center and the Organizer Guide are great places to do that. Last but not least, we also offer a page through the blog called our product updates. So usually we highlight this in these Meetup 101s as a way to keep up to date with what we're launching. It's very linked to the feature request form we walked you through earlier. But if you don't have a specific request, and you just want to stay up to date on what we're building based on those requests, the product updates is a great way to do so. Which leads us into, we're happy to share with you some of the recent updates that we've built based on customer feedback from things like the feature request form or from support related tickets that we've answered by email. Colin, if you want to take us through some of these features.
Yeah, so this was something that came out of the photo album replatform. The ability to toggle member photo uploads. So basically the ability to upload photos for members. Organizers and pro admins can now decide whether their group members may upload photos to their group. This is in your group's optional settings page. So when you go, if you're an organizer of a group, you can go into your group settings to optional settings, and it's at the bottom there, and toggle on or off. This is just a great way to secure your community, manage your group's branding if you don't want your members posting photos. Next one is editing events after they start. So this was something our organizer growth team recently launched. This came out of mostly online event, the need to edit events online URLs. So if before this change happened, there was no way to edit the event after it started. So, the event starts and then it is what it is. You can't change the information. You can't change the location. You can't change anywhere because, things happen and sometimes you have to update the event based on, maybe the Zoom link was broken and you need to add it. So now you are able to edit certain things in the event. So you can edit the event title, the photo, description, pro speaker, topics, location, COVID-19 safety measures, and the event host. However, once the event starts, you cannot edit the date and time, any communication tools, and the other optional settings. And then the next one is event feedback overview page. This is launching very soon, I believe in the next day or two. It's something that we heard from you when we launched the star ratings on Group Home. When you click the star ratings, you will be taken to an overview page where you can see all past ratings, and you can click into each one to see who rated it, what they said, any comments they left, see what people liked, what went wrong. You can also sort and filter the ratings by the star rating if they left a message. You can also message them by clicking the three dots and report any feedback that you deem harassment or anything. And the whole point of this is to use your members' feedback to learn and to make improvements to your events. So we're really excited to launch this. It should be coming soon. And then the last one is hybrid events. There we go. Hybrid events is again a big feature request we've heard. It's a very complex project on the engineering side, so it's taking a little while to build, but we're working on it, and it's coming soon. You'll be able to schedule an event. I believe this is just for pro organizers. You'll be able to schedule an event that's either in person, online, or both. And then, of course, we have our organizer app. This is just a reminder to download it and to use all the features to organize and manage your group and events on there.
Yeah, the organizer app is particularly useful for event hosting on the go, And there are some unique features that are only available through the organizer app. It's not required for hosting your events, but using a conjunction of the tools available on the website and on the organizer app, you can really find ways to like maximize impact for your particular group based on what the needs of your community are. And if you have questions about how to maximize those things, those are great reasons to reach out to the community support team. I believe Janine has shared links in our chat, linking to all of the various resources and features we've shared today. We've got time for a couple of questions. I've pulled some aside. Quickly, I want to acknowledge we got a few questions that I think we addressed today, such as there was one from Tess, who said that she'd started a group recently. She was having trouble getting participation. So the Community Matters blog has posted some of the recent Meetup 101s we've hosted. There's videos of them. We've done a few of these events, but specifically around engagement. So definitely check out meetup.com/blog. You can check out videos there about engagement. Craig said, looking for recommendations to find groups in a certain city that are active. So again, the Community Matters blog, like I said, is posting those local guides. If they're not hitting the specific city that you're looking for events in, feel free to reach out on our feature request form, and we can make sure that our marketing team is aware that there's an interest for local guides in that city. Here's a sort of more nuanced question that we can get into. Julie has asked, all of the banners on the Meetup website declare 30% off. She's asking, what does the 30% off mean? It usually shows a start a group button. What does that mean? So 30% off refers to the subscription pricing. In order to create a group and to manage those groups, you have to pay an organizer subscription fee in order to get access to the organizer tools and to get access to the communication tools that are necessary for the community building. We give you a 30% off discount when you start for the first time. So all you have to do is just click that start a group button at the top of the website. It'll automatically start you through the process of creating the group. And once you're done with that, it'll prompt you to fill out your payment information. That 30% discount will automatically be applied. If you think that you qualify for that 30% discount and it is not applied, that is a great reason to reach out to our support team. We can investigate on an account specific level and apply the discount if necessary. So thank you very much for that question, Julie. That was a really, really good thing to point out. I think this is another question from Julie, actually, which is, can the trust and safety team be approached about changes requested to policy 2? The answer is absolutely yes. The best way to go about doing that is to submit a question through our direct request form through the Help Center, which the link that we originally shared just to submit a direct request. We can either route that question directly to the trust and safety team, or our support specialist might be able to answer some more general questions about policy updates. We, I think within the last year, had an update to the terms of service. So those are questions that we do tend to get, and we are prepared to answer them. So great questions. I think that's all the time we have today, actually. So we'll take you through. This is the usual slide that we share at the end of these Meetup 101s, but it's a lot of the same resources that we just talked about today. We've got the product feature request form. If you've got either requests for improvements to existing features or requests for features that have not been built yet that would benefit your group, feel free to use that feature request form. We tend to monitor by volume of request. So it's really useful to continue using that form. It helps us prioritize urgency of some of those requests that way. Like we said, the product updates help you stay up to date on the latest things that we're launching. It's probably a really good idea if you're interested in hybrid events, hosting both online and in-person events simultaneously. Feel free to follow that product updates page. We'll let you know as soon as it's live. The Help Center is that database of resources. It's our knowledge base for navigating, using, getting the most out of Meetup. If you log in to the Help Center, you'll see that support button in the bottom right-hand corner, and you'll be able to contact our support specialist that way. And last but not least, reporting a bug you can do in the form down there in the bottom right-hand corner. If something has gone wrong, you're seeing an error message, reporting a bug directly through that form helps us to investigate faster and roll out fixes faster. And we wanted to make sure that you have access one last time to scan this QR code, join our Discord community, and get access to not only the organizers who are there, but we also have a team of organizer mentors. And these are highly experienced organizers who are available. We've got 2 mentors every day, one in the morning, one in the evening, and they're available to answer specific questions. They each have sort of like their own field of expertise based on the groups that they organize. They're really, really welcoming. They're really supportive and kind, and we'd love to share their expertise with you. So feel free to scan this QR code or click the link in the chat to join that Discord community. And that's our presentation for today. Thank you all so much for joining us for another Meetup Live. Hope that you can take these resources we've shared today and get all of your questions answered. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night and day.